Welcome back to Leah's Loot. Hi, Holly. Holly's here with me on vacation at a beautiful cabin in Southwest PA with the woods behind me. It's very quiet and peaceful here. Love me some dog-friendly Airbnbs. Today we're going to work on our October budget. This is a revision of one that I had put together earlier, and I wrote the wrong number down in my BRB balance. So this is the first one we've done together, just so you can see what I'm working with, how my zero-based budget looks each month. Let me get the camera adjusted here a little bit. Zoom that in. There we go. Now you can see. Okay. I make $4,282 every month in my 2 salary jobs. I have a quarter-time pastorate at a small village church in Southwest PA, and I make $300 a week at that job. So $1,200 a month, and I'm paid bi-weekly, which means 26 paychecks a year, $600 a piece. My other job is a half-time administrative position for a district full of churches, like a superintendent role. I have 27 congregations in the states of Maryland and West Virginia that I oversee. And I'm also my own administrative assistant and the financial secretary for the district. And that is a combined total workload of 22 hours a week. And I make $1,541 the 15th and the 30th of each month. So I have 26 paychecks at my smaller income and 24 paychecks at my larger income. My next miracle month with 3 paychecks from my smaller job will be next month in November. In the brackets here, you see what the existing balance in my Blue Ridge bank account. That's my main clearinghouse for bills, my bill paying checking account. Then I have a local bank that's for my ability to withdraw cash for cash stuffing and fill my variable expenses with cash. That's a First National Bank account. I keep a small buffer in each one, $100 at my local bank, $200 at my regular bill paying bank. And then the way I have figured out how to do my budget that works best for me is I live off of the bigger paychecks and I deposit those into the bill paying bank, and that's where every bill and every savings transfer and every investment transfer, every check I have to write, I write a check for my rent, and I have automatic checks sent from my account to pay my tithes. That all comes from my bigger income. And then my variable expenses, that's my groceries, household items, my pets, personal spending, gas money, and just like emergency needs or when I need to be able to move cash around, that's my local bank. So what I do every month is I create 2 columns on this paper, and on the right is my larger paychecks for my bill paying account, and on the left is my smaller paychecks for my variable spending. Now, as always, before we do anything else, we're going to take a swig of our refreshing chilled seltzer water, unsweetened seltzer water. Today it's Waterloo peach flavor. One of my favorites. It even smells good just when you open the can. Gotta stay hydrated. Okay. So we'll start with the left column. My paydays for my bigger job, they're fixed. The 15th and 30th every single month. But my smaller paychecks, they move dates, each month. So in October, I have a payday coming on Sunday. That's October 5th. And we'll say PD Rob, because my church is Robinson. That's how I know. And I'm sorry the camera's moving. I'm sitting outside at a picnic table, like a metal table, and it seems to be not very stable. but we'll get through it. I hope I don't make you nauseous. And that will be $600. Now I put these buffers in brackets because I don't actually touch those if I don't have to. So I'm really just going to work from this whole number here at the beginning of October. I don't need to spend that 102 on anything. Everything I need for my variable spending will come straight out of that 600 bucks. So the first thing will be food and pets out of paycheck 1, and that's $300 total. I have a dog and 4 cats and myself, so that's to feed us and to get household supplies and pet litter, pet treats, etc. Anything that they need. The second amount will be my personal spending and a little envelope I keep in my purse called Givey. That's just a small quantity of cash I have on hand to make additional donations above my tithe. And I usually just take like $10 to $15 a paycheck for that. So this is a combined total of $50. That'll be $40 for personal and $10 for Givey this time. And then I'm going to keep my gas in the account. That's $120. That's because I use my debit card at the pump. We have Sheetz where I live and also where I work, so most of my gas comes from Sheetz. I have a Sheetz card, and so it's really easy for me to get out of the car, scan the Sheetz card, and then use my debit card at the pump and not have to go inside and pay cash. And my tank for the little Hyundai Accent I drive, it costs $32 to fill. So this gives me almost 4 full tanks of gas. I do a lot of driving for my job, so I actually blow through that. And that 120 is sufficient, but I couldn't go any lower than that. Then I'm going to keep, that's just additional buffer money. And because my balance is down to 102, I'm actually going to beef that up. Usually it's just like 15 or 20 bucks, but this time I'm going to leave 50 in. That still leaves me with some savings challenge money that's above what I normally budget. Every month I budget $550 out of my big paycheck for savings challenge. You'll see that as we get into the other column. But for this one, because I'm not spending the whole $600 this time, I have $80 left over after leaving a buffer with the buffer that's already in. And that brings me to $0 for my first paycheck for October. The second one will look very similar. We're going to go here. That's 2 weeks later on the 19th. It's the exact same amount. That's the one nice thing about being on salary is that I know what each check is going to be. I don't always know what my mileage reimbursement will be, but I know what check is going to be. Let me move this up so you can see it. And we're going to do food and pets again for number 2. And allocate the same amount, $300. This time for personal and Givey, we're doing less. It'll be $30 total. $20 personal and $10 Givey. Gas will be the same. In the month of October, I happen to know that I don't have nearly as much driving for my job as I did in September. September was a really busy month for the district. This time I only have 1 conference to attend and 2 scheduled church visits to make in, both of those are in West Virginia. So I won't need all 120 of that. I don't need to add more. I'll leave that in and I'll let whatever's left roll over to the next month. For whoops, we're going to go back down to my normal level. We'll say 30 this time. That leaves me with more bonus saving. I'm really trying to save up for a replacement car. I need a 4-wheel drive vehicle for before the winter. And that's approaching quickly. I have about 2 more months, 3 at the most, before I have to get really serious about trading up my car and having cash to put down on a replacement that has 4-wheel drive. I also happen to know that I'm going to have to move in the spring. My landlord is selling the home that I live in. Once I get to the new year after I've replaced my car, then 100% of all additional money I make, whether that's passive income from online, extra concerts I perform, my mileage reimbursement at both of my jobs, any money I can save, any rollover from my variable spending, even if it's just 20 bucks at a time, is all going to move into a savings specifically for my moving expenses when the time comes. I don't want to be caught not having enough cash to move into a new home. And then there's one more expense, and I'm just writing down the date. It's the 28th of the month. The money is already saved. This is just, I'm putting it on paper as a reminder to me that I need to deposit the $137 for my AAA Premier renewal in my account where it's going to be automatically withdrawn. And that does it for, so that doesn't count out of the 600. That's just a reminder to me that I have the cash already saved in a sinking fund. It just needs to be deposited before it gets withdrawn. So that's the easy part. That's just my variable spending that comes out of my smaller paycheck. $600 a pop. I was spending a lot less in food and pets. For a while, I was at $260 every 2 weeks. And I ended up bumping that up, noticing that some of my local prices were going up. But I have been trying to curb that, so I usually have a little rollover. But I go ahead and budget for it anyway, just in case prices fluctuate. Then I'm not caught without enough, you know. Okay, so let's get into the right column. These are my bigger paychecks, and these are the ones that are regular. I already deposited my October paycheck. We'll say PDWM, that's for West Marva District, and it's $15.41. The first expense will be the tithe that, what I do is I pay a tithe from my big check to my local church and a tithe from my smaller check to the district and our district camps. And we have 2 camps. So I send a tithe to them it's $60, which is a tithe off of this 600 amount over here. And each camp gets half of that. So it's 60 total, but it's to 2 camps, Camp Hope and Camp Galilee. They each get $30 a month just to support their work. And then my regular tithe to my own church will be $155, which is a tithe off of my bigger paycheck. Then, because I'm self-employed at both of my jobs, I don't have taxes being withdrawn. So what I have is, I know what my total tax bill is by the end of the year based on my salary. And I've broken it down into a weekly increment. And it's $147 a week. I know, it's crazy. Because that self-employment tax includes Medicare and Social Security and local, state, and federal taxes that all need to be taken out from me because I don't have an employer withdrawing those. So I just have that automatically taken and I don't even see it. It leaves my account 1 week at a time. This one will go out on the 7th. This one will go out on the 14th and so on. Okay, then my rent. I paid my rent yesterday for October. I have a great rent rate. That's part of the reason I'm anxious about having to move. My water is only paid quarterly, so I save $55 out of this paycheck because in November that full $55 is going to be taken. It's $17 a month, but I just take it out the month before it's due. And I know for a fact that that was check 391 because I had to start a brand new book of checks to make it. And then the water for my quarterly payment. Schwab, I send $100 to a brokerage account every month out of my fat check. It's automatically deducted. I have fund money every month, and this month I spent it already because my brother is on the Whatnot app and he runs Second Chance sports cards. If any of you are or know someone who's into baseball card collecting, Second Chance Sports Cards has a live auction on the Whatnot app every Sunday at 7. And this week I bought a bunch of cards from it. So I've already blown my fun money. I spent 40 bucks on baseball cards. But they're really good deals. And a lot of them I will sell. Like I'll resell them. Some of them I'll keep. But some of them I buy at a discount from him and then resell for a little bit of profit. Well, look who's here. Hang on, let's meet Shadow. Hi, Shadow. Look at the handsome boy. Hi, sweet boy. You're so pretty. He's a husky lab mix. He's very friendly. He's poofy. Holly. This is my little doofus right there. Okay, back to budgeting. Hi, you two. You're so cute. Okay, now I got dogs everywhere. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, Second Chance Sports Cards. That's what you want to look for on Whatnot. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. they have a live auction. Great prices and the best shipping cost on Whatnot. $5 cap. $5 cap. You never pay more than $5 to have your entire order shipped to you. Okay. Next, we have my subscriptions. I have $99 exactly worth of semi-annual or annual subscriptions that I save in sinking funds, like my AAA premium that you just saw. And so $99 automatically gets moved to my high yield savings account every month out of my first big paycheck. My term life just got paid today for $17 a month. Oakland is the city where my office is, and I keep a buffer in my account for if I need to stay late. I always pack a lunch, but if I end up staying late at the office, then I need a second meal. I can just I can use my debit card from my main account and purchase food. If I were there during bad weather and needed a hotel room, that amount accumulates. I could like take that and reimburse my credit card or something like that. So far, I haven't needed to do that since I started the job last December, but it is an area of Maryland that can get some pretty bad weather. Okay, now this PayPal, wrong amount. This is just a marker to remind me that I moved $44 from my PayPal account in order to cover the expense of those cards. So basically PayPal paid this account and then this account paid Capital One. That's how that all worked. Okay. Capital One payment. This just pays down the balance, the monthly balance on my credit card. Will be $140, and I can actually make that payment today. And then there will be a buffer. All right, we'll calculate that all in a minute, but we're going to keep going and add our second paycheck. Our second paycheck of the month is on the 15th. Same designation. Payday West Marva. We'll have my second $60 tithe actually is reimbursing my Capital One card because I used my credit card to purchase a subscription for Zoom Pro on behalf of my district. They had not budgeted for it. I found that I was using Zoom more and more to do my job, and there was no line item in the budget for it, and so I decided to turn it into a donation. That's just my monthly contribution back to pay for the annual subscription. Okay, then there will be my other regular tithe, and that's $155 to my church. And then there will be 2 more tax bills, yay, on the 21st and the 28th. And they'll each be the same amount because it's automatically withdrawn, exactly $147 every time. Jam Zone, I might not keep my subscription. This is an app for musicians to have high quality backing tracks for very popular songs, and a license to use them in public venues of up to 200 people. And I do concerts throughout the summer where I do a mix of gospel music, original music, and classic songs. But as I get into the winter months, I don't so much. And it's one of those things where you can subscribe anytime, cancel anytime. So I think I'm going to leave it in my budget, but I have until the 25th of the month to decide if I'm going to go ahead and hang on to it. And that will depend on if I have bookings between now and when winter sets in. If I get a couple bookings, I'll keep it. If I don't get any bookings for extra concerts, I will cancel that and save myself that 21 bucks. My Amazon Prime is automatically deducted for $8. That'll come out on the 28th. That amount is going to go up soon from 8 to 15. This was a discounted rate when I still had a low income, and it will time out at the end of November. And then I'll go back up to the regular rate. Okay, sinking funds. All kinds of sinking funds. I have sinking funds mainly for irregular expenses, like when I need to fill my tank with propane, or when I need to buy rice coal. You know, the cold weather months are coming. And then I have sinking funds for things like clothing and my hobbies. So I have determined how much I want to save for all of those categories total, and then divided it out per month, and it comes to $383 per month. That money gets moved to my high yield savings account. It's not something I use in my savings challenges, but it is money that I'm saving. Savings challenges, on the other hand, these are for, I'll show you that sheet in a minute. It's easier if I show you than tell you. But anyway, there's $550 a month that I save from my bigger paycheck for the specific purpose of getting to save in a fun way. That's like, I mean, I can give you a ballpark off the top of my head. It's my car fund, car maintenance, pet, emergency, a replacement cell phone, because I'm using an older model. And it works okay. I'm going to keep nursing my phone along, but one of these days, I'm going to have to replace it, and I want to be ready for it when it comes. I'll have some fun money, and this time I won't spend it all on baseball cards. So I'll have $40 allocated out of that. And then, again, I'll have another Oakland buffer of 30 bucks for any expenses I incur at my place of work. Okay, so this is what my budget looks like as we break it down. Before I fill in absolute totals, the other thing I do is I mark the left column of how the money is going to be moved around. Like, what do I actually do with it? Food and pet, I take out as cash. Personal and Givey, those are 4 cash envelopes that live in my purse. The gas money, it's kept in my account along with the whoops. And then bonus savings for savings challenge, I'll take that out as cash. I'll save up I'll do the savings challenges, and then I actually send that money straight back to the bank and transfer it to my high yield savings account. For the second paycheck of the month on the 19th, it's the same breakdown. We keep the gas, we keep the whoops, we cash out the bonus savings challenge, and for this one we add the AAA Premier so that bill gets paid. Now on the other side, it's a little more complicated. My tithes are all, see, I just messed up. My tithes are all automated except for the one, oh no, that was right, except for the one that goes to Capital One. That one I move manually. So that's an auto, that's an auto. My taxes are automatically moved to a high yield savings account specifically set aside just for taxes. My water I'm keeping so that I can pay it on the 1st of November. My Schwab will come out on the 7th of every month. That's a fixed date. So $100 every 7th of every month. The Capital One payment from my fund money, I actually moved today. The subs for $99 will automatically deduct. My term life, that came out automatically today. I'll put today, or yesterday, the 2nd. I keep the money in the Oakland line item as just a buffer in case I need it, but I don't always need it. The Capital One payment, I'll move, and I can make that today because the money's in my account now. And the buffer, obviously, I'll keep just for whoopsies. Down here's the same. This is the one that I have to manually move. My tithe is automatic. My taxes are automatic. Jam Zone is automatic. Prime is automatic. Sinking funds, I will move when I deposit that second check. Savings challenges will be cash. My fund money I move to, and oh, I should say this too. I have a Cash App debit card connected just for fund money. That way I don't overspend fund money. When that money's gone, it's gone. And I'm not overspending in that category. So it's in like a separate little, so I take it out of my main checking account and I do an immediate transfer on the day I deposit my checks into my Cash App. And then that's what I have for fun. And mostly what I spend my fun money on is like in-game purchases for some apps like games that I enjoy playing. Or occasionally a Papa John's pizza. Because they're my favorite. I have to drive. I don't live near a Papa John's, so it's kind of an excursion for me to get Papa John's. So I turn it into a whole big event. I take the dog, and we turn it into a big thing. Okay, I'll be right back with our final totals. All right. Final tally is that in my big account, the 206 will remain. That's just a buffer that I keep. And I'll work my way down off of my first paycheck and maintain an additional buffer of 126. And then I'll add my second paycheck and work my way down to 0 and have that additional buffer. On my first account with my variable expenses, that one's pretty self-explanatory. I start with 600, I work my way down to 0, start with 6, work my way down to 0, and maintain that $100 buffer. Now, before I go, some other fun things are happening this month, and that is that I have a big mileage reimbursement coming from September because I did a crap ton of driving in the month of September for work-related purposes. It's the biggest mileage check I'll get all year, and so I want to show you how that's going to break down. I will receive that check this coming Tuesday. And I'll get to do, I'll have some savings to come out of it to do in an upcoming savings challenge video. Okay, so I'm going to get $632.80 for my big job and $60.20 for my little job. And so the breakdown is a donation to my church's building fund campaign, because we have an old building that requires some repairs right now. A little personal spending, $30 for saving challenges, and a little bit of buffer in that smaller bank account. And in my larger bank account, I'll be able to have some fun money put toward my car fund and car maintenance, and still have $125 for additional savings challenges, and keep a $15 buffer in my bigger account. So I'm very excited about that. I also have sort of looked ahead at what I will be dealing with as far as October Savings Challenge money. And if everything works out and no major surprises and no major car repairs, which is what's been killing me lately, I'll have over $1,000 out of my earnings. And an extra earning, I'm receiving an extra $100 for teaching a course at a ministry training program. In the middle of October. And guess what? Here I'm on vacation, but I counted today. When I leave tomorrow, I'll still have $72 left over that I didn't spend on my vacation. So that's going in a savings challenge as well. And I anticipate some of my mileage and the savings challenges that I'm able to budget out of my regular payments, and any rollover from my variable spending. That means that even October, even without too much extra income, as far as like speaking engagements and extra travel, is shaping up to be a good month for me. I'm very grateful. I'm giving all my loot a job. I hope you are too. See you next time.